This is Diva Satanica from Nervosa, and you're listening to the Dan Chan Show on Hard Rock Hell Radio. Yeah!
Hey Diva, how are you?
Fine. Very excited to be here with you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. So you guys have just released the awesome album Perpetual Chaos. You've had some amazing feedback. Here's some of it. You got bombastic, best work of their career, bigger, badder, better. You must be very pleased. It started to chart in a few countries as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for your kind words. I mean, this is really, really appreciated for us. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And are you happy with the response so far?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that we could do something kind of amazing, you know, because I'm with some of the most amazing girls in the music scene.
Yeah.
But this has been crazy. So for me, it's been like a dream come true for sure.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because for those that don't know, you're new to the band as of last year. What was it like joining Nervosa? I mean, how did it happen? And were you a fan or aware of the band before joining?
Well, yeah, I was a huge fan of the band and of Fernanda for sure because they have been one of my main references in the music scene, especially in the stream metal scene that we didn't have a lot of all-female format bands.
Yeah.
So, yes, for sure. I've seen Nervosa live many times. And it was very awesome the way that Prika reached us because we were in the middle of the quarantine and she just sent us a message asking if we wanted to make the audition for the band. So for me, it was like, oh my God, nothing was supposed to be happening right now. And suddenly, boom.
So Prika reached out to you?
Yeah, to all of us. Yeah,
that's very cool.
She had like a list with some names of different musicians that she wanted to work with, and my name was there, so that was really awesome.
It must be nice to be recognised just from that point of view.
Oh.
It must be.
Well, I don't know, maybe the fact that she could see what I was doing on stage with my band Will Hunter, 2 years ago now, I think. Time flies.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the reasons for adding my name to the list, because probably we were not very close friends. I mean, we just have been together on that tour, and it was like 5 days only. So yeah.
So obviously you're from Spain. Original and founding member Prika is from Brazil, and then you got members from Greece and Italy. What was the writing process like with you guys being so international? You must have been flying files all around the world, right?
Yeah, that was like exchanging ideas all the time, you know, using Google Drive and other platforms. And we were like using WhatsApp all the time, just to advise the other, hey, I just uploaded one idea, like to add your part. So just think about it and take a look. Yeah. And yes, that's been the whole process for 3 months, I think. Yeah.
So that was the writing process. And the album was recorded in Malaga in the south of Spain. I believe this was the first time you met each other. Is that right?
Yeah. In the middle of this COVID situation, we just took our flights and we just met in the airport. So for all of us, it was kind of weird in the beginning. You know, it was like, I don't want to be rude, but I'm not sure if they want me to hug them or what should I do in this situation.
Especially in a pandemic.
But the good thing was that everybody did their COVID tests. Yeah. So it was easier that way. And we were isolated in that beautiful studio. It was in the top of a mountain. So nobody else were. It was the very first time for me. You know, I've never heard about this studio, but Martin Furia, our producer, had been working there with other bands before. Yeah. So he told to Prika that would be a nice spot for all of us in this special situation of COVID and our very first meeting. It was a very relaxed and beautiful place. And I think that was the best option for us at that time.
And close to home for you as well.
Yeah. For me, it was the easier trip, you know, because everybody had to cross the borders, but not for me. So
easy for you. And you just mentioned Martin. How important was it to have producer Martin Furia working with you on the album? I believe he had some great insights as well.
Oh, look, Martin is an amazing producer, but he has an amazing ability just to make people feel very comfortable, and especially especially for vocalists, it's very, very appreciated because sometimes you get very emotional and you feel like this is something very intimate when you're trying to express your emotions while singing. And he just makes you feel very, very good and just trying new things. So you feel like you want to explore new ways of singing. And I really learned a lot. And he's very patient also. Yeah. So if you fail, don't worry, just make it for fun, and we try later, and it's perfectly okay. So yeah, and also he's an amazing lyricist. So he has amazing ideas that we used in this album, and he was like a very big source of inspiration for us.
And for your vocal, your guttural vocal, is it difficult to keep a long vocal session going with that?
Look, we've been working, the schedule was like, in the mornings, we just get up like at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Martin much earlier, because he likes to get up very early in the morning, like 5 or 6 in the morning. So we spent all the mornings working on lyrics and trying to prepare the song for the recordings, just to do it in the afternoon. And we spent like 5 or 6 hours recording. And for me, it's okay. But for the very first time that I was going to record my voice for Nervosa, it was everything was new. So we had to, the very first days, we were just trying different ideas and trying different registers inside of the vocal cords, you know. It was like exploring new ways for the growling approach, you know, because sometimes you feel that everything is very limited. And with Martin, I just discovered that I have a lot of sources and things that I can use as different registers, you know, inside of the false chords. And yes, it was amazing because, and it was very funny because it was like, give me one Blood Hunter growling. Now give me some Max Caballero style. Now let's try some Gojira. And it was very interesting because I really couldn't imagine that I could do all that things. And it was very good for me as a vocalist as well.
Yeah. And you've got some cool collaborations on the album, including members of Flotsam and Jetsam and Destruction. How did you get those guys involved?
They are very close friends of Prika because they've been on tour together with Nervosa some years ago. And Schmier and having Eric from Flotsam and Jetsam and Schmier from Destruction, and also Guillermo Miranda from Entomb. It's been amazing because it was not only like collaborating with us, you know, it was like showing support to this new era. And we really appreciate that fact. And
when it comes to writing lyrics, which I know you had quite a part of on the album, what do you like to write about?
You know, for me, it's been a very interesting process also because with my band, I used to write about philosophy and occultism and things that more typical to the black or death metal styles. But for this time, I knew that I had to try something different. And when we were discussing the main topics for this album, it came the idea of this Perpetual Chaos, also in relation to this COVID situation for sure, like this apocalyptic vibe, you know. But in relation also to these terrible things that the human being have been created to the planet Earth. I mean, like animal abuse, corruption, all that stuff, you know. And we've been thinking about different topics. So any song is like each one of the songs in this album deals with a different topic. You know, for example, People of the Abyss were inspired in the Jeffrey Epstein case. And Martin gave us a lot of cool ideas because it was like, we've been talking about politics, socialism, but what else, you know, because there are like 13 songs and we were like out of ideas all the time. And then he came with just, let's talk about mental health. And then it came until the very end with suicide. And yes, I think it's a wider perspective, much more wider than in the previous albums of Nervosa. So yes, it's been very interesting.
So what bands, artists inspired you growing up to get you into metal?
I really started with rock and roll bands, you know, like Bon Jovi and Guns N' Roses and stuff like that.
Wow, you couldn't get further apart, could you now?
I mean, I love a lot of different music styles, but I couldn't start for the extreme metal because that was too much for me. You know, the very first time that I listened to somebody rolling,
it's a gradual process. It's a gradual process.
I needed just to listen first to some grunge with Alice in Chains and Nirvana and stuff like that, and then going to thrash and power metal. And yeah, with time, I just discovered the extreme metal. And for me, it was like I was very obsessed. I spent like 3 years of my life or something only listening to black metal. That was only for me the only music style for me at that time. Yeah.
So did that help you discover your guttural voice? One day you just turned around and said, hey, I can do this. You were just practicing in the shower?
Oh, no, I wish I could make it that way. No. It took me a lot of time because, the main reason for me to try growling, it was because I couldn't do anything else. I mean, I tried with guitar, I tried with clean vocals, but it was a nightmare for me. Yeah. I was terrible at both of that things. So I just tried with growling because I thought, okay, maybe this could be my place. Why not? Let's try it and let's see. And yes, I couldn't find a teacher or somebody that could help me. Even when I asked to other musicians, it was like, I don't have idea. I don't know what I'm doing. It just happens, And it was very frustrating in the beginning.
So do you feel like you have to be, it's sort of thing you have to learn this style?
Yeah, it was like, it took me a lot of time because I was completely alone in the process. So I just decided to lock up myself in a rehearsal room and spend a lot of time during the weekends attending extreme metal shows. I remember myself being on the first row, just studying the facial expressions of the vocalists and the controlled breathing and all of that, just to understand what was happening, And then I went to the rehearsal room just to try to imitate the same things. And with time, I think I could find my own register.
Yeah. And what female metal vocalists are doing it for you now? I mean, who do you look up to?
Oh, the very first one, it was Sabina Klassen from Holy Moses.
Yeah.
But at that time, I think this was like 2010 or 2011, something like that. The very first women that I saw on stage, it was Angela Gozzo at that time in Arch Enemy.
Yeah.
So, that was a big influence because there was not a lot of women performing this kind of register. It was a lot of people singing with clean vocals or vocal fry or another approaches, but not with false chords or growling. So for me, she was one of the pioneers for me.
Yeah. So going back to the band, do you have plans in place to tour yet? Have you had gigs cancelled?
Yeah, we have a lot of shows already booked and summer festivals, but we don't know, because the future is quite uncertain. And yes, I think the very first dates are booked for July for this summer. But let's see, cross fingers, because this thing of the vaccination is taking more time than we expected. So we really don't know what will happen. Hopefully we can make it, maybe for the end of this year. I'm not sure, but let's see.
And are you looking at a headline tour? Is it tour support you're looking at doing?
I think there's many things coming, because there was a lot of dates that were canceled 1 year ago. Yeah. So we had also like a tour with Amorphis and Tomb for around the USA. Yeah. And I don't know if we can make it this year. And I don't know. There are a lot of headlining shows too around Europe, but let's see.
Talking of shows, what's the best show you've ever attended as a fan? Or give me a couple.
Maybe any of the Behemoth shows. For me, it's been like, wow, this is what I like to do someday, because of the production, the engineering of the sound and lights, everything. It's like a perfect definition of a live show, for me.
Did you see their virtual show that they did?
Yeah. I bought my ticket, and that was the day that I discovered Imperial Triumphant.
It's incredible.
So, it was like a movie, It
was.
That was perfect because I was not expecting something so huge. It was like, okay, let's see another Behemoth show, but no. They took it and they went like one step farther. That's amazing.
Do you think if it's a further delay with tours and shows, is something you might consider doing?
Yes. I mean, in the beginning, we thought that this could be not the best idea for a new lineup of this band. But if nothing happens in terms of live shows for this year, we should do something like that, I think, because people are expecting to see us live, and in one way or the other, we just have to thank everybody for this amazing support during these months, and that would be a good idea.
So, lastly, nervosa in Latin means nervous. What's the most nerve-wracking thing you've ever had to do?
Good question. Oh, I don't know. I seem to be very calm person, but I'm quite nervous all the time. I can't stop moving. So for me, it's like, I don't know, maybe the recording sessions of this album, for me, it's been like, oh my God, I have to do it very good. And there's a lot of good intentions for the new fans, for the old fans of the band. But I don't know what will happen if they will like this new approach. And I feel like the big responsibility,
Yeah. Have you ever been nervous going on stage?
I've never been nervous on stage. I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy or something, but I think it's because that's the thing that I love the most in life. So, I'm always kind of anxious, but in a good way, because I just want to go there and having fun with people around me. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Diva, thank you so much for joining me on the show. It's very much appreciated. Good luck with the album and the future with Nervosa.
Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure.